So stay on 3D PT. About a year ago, I did a video where I embedded magnets into a 3D print. And so this is a TinkerCAD. And if I make this transparent, you can see I created a couple of cavities here. Now, I just got a Taz Pro, which is dual extrusion. And while I like these designs, this magnet, this has actually been one of my most popular sellers at trade shows. Print time could be a little bit quicker. And so what I want to do on this, since it is about 4 millimeters thick, I want to drop most of it down to 1 or 2 millimeters. And I want to take this lettering that before to do this, basically I had to do it in 2 layers, so a black layer and a glow-in-the-dark layer. And I want to drop this down so it's all pretty much in 1 layer. It's probably going to have to leave a couple little knobs here for the magnets. But I want to see if I could cut this down print time-wise and do this as a dual extrusion print. So I'm going to go back in TinkerCAD and just drop this down into 1 layer, with the exception of this. So I'll show you what I do next. So I'm going to copy and paste one of the originals. And just to start with, I'm just going to ungroup it. You can already see how it's coming together. So if I can ungroup that further. So I'm going to work with this to get this down. And I want to keep the dots that I left in place, the orange ones, for the magnets. So I'm not going to change those. But for this, I want this to be black. So let me that to be white. But this piece is about, let's make it even 2. So that's the base. And now the lettering, I want to be 2 millimeters. So now it's through. That to 2. Now let's make it 2.5 just to stick out just a touch. Base, same thing. This white base here is 2. And this lettering, I could get down to 2. So I want the lettering on the letter clean to be black. 2, so this has to be 2 even. Because I want that half of the sign to be white. Alright, so I did clean it up. The challenge for this was just trying to put the magnets through 2 layers of colors. It's something you're going to have to play with a lot, probably. But I've set Extruder 1 for the part that says clean to be white. So the part that says 3, I want to set on Extruder 1. Part that says clean goes to Extruder 2. And on the printer, 1 is white, 2 is black, and I can now take them both, merge them. Okay, I'm on the right track. So now the hole is going through both of them, and we'll close up. And this way I only have a couple little dots sticking up, but they actually are going to act as kind of like a weird hanging period. So that way just helps with the contrast. And just like the first time when I put the magnets in, I'm just going to pause it at a certain height, drop the magnets in, and go from there. So I'm going to rename this. I'm just going to call it version 1. Save it to the drive. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to eyeball the change. Yeah, I'm just going to eyeball the change. I'm not going to, I could put a pause in, just see how that goes. So I've put both of these into Cura, and I've set Extruder 1 to the Polylight PLA setting. Same thing with Extruder 2. So these magnets I'm just going to print in PLA at 3mm settings. And something's still off with the file, so I'm going to have to play with this. Because on this side here, it's basically treating it like a solid instead of a hollow. So I'll have to go back. So I'm going to go back and fix that.
So I've paused the print. So I paused the print, and I'm actually going to put those in. Sure, there's no little bumps or anything there. Try and do this without knocking it over. And I've got my hand on the... shit. The nozzle is steel. Which means my idea for printing these just went out the window. So I'm going to resume this and just do it without a magnet. Shit, sorry. So I'm going to have to come back to this. I was afraid I'd have to revise it further. So I could fix the design by putting a hole through the bottom, and then just dropping the magnet from the bottom that way. So hoping I didn't have to do that, but that kind of changed things now. Because I was hoping I could do this all in one print, but you can see here it already caused some issues. Made that a little rough. So this is going to be my first demo piece for a dual extrusion that I actually designed and modeled. But I'm just going to punch a hole through here with the next one, put my magnet up through it, and then glue it over. Not what I wanted to do, but could be a little bit cleaner that way. Yeah. So here's the final, and the layering didn't quite go through the way I wanted it to. So this is version 1. Came off nice and clean. I did put glue stick on as a prep. The PI bed sheet on this is incredibly aggressive, even for PLA, so layer glue definitely is pretty much what you need to clean it. So if I was doing this as version 2, I'm going to put a hole through these, and that way it'll print hollow, and when I'm done I just shove a magnet and cover it with some glue. I'm also going to raise the lettering through this, and lettering's okay there. So there's some work to do to design a good 2-color print, and you just have to practice that.